All right, have not fans, what an episode, a new leap. And according to the advertisements in the little corner of the screen during the episode, I think we only have two episodes left. I believe it's called Show and Tell. No. She's going to be real mad. And then the following episode is Show and Tell, meaning that this season is allegedly only going to be 9 episodes long, but I have to say, this episode truly did live up to the tagline, the most emotional season yet. Because honestly, up until this point, there were a lot of great cliffhangers, a lot of great moments, but nothing that really got me emotional. But I have to say, for the first time, I mean, if this was America's Got Talent, folks, this would be the golden buzzer moment. Because in my opinion, I think that this episode was pretty much flawless. I mean, there were moments where I'm kind of like, like this is crazy, but not to the point where it took me out of the episode. I think the pacing was amazing. I think a lot of stuff happened. A lot of shoes dropped. A lot of bombs dropped. No pun intended on the car explosion. We had some cool character interactions. Decent setup for future episodes. I have to say, I'm giving this episode a 10 out of 10. And that's a big thing for me because a lot of people are like, man, of course it was a 10 out of 10 and this and that. But there have been plenty of episodes in the past where I've given it 8.5, 9, 9.5 because of things. But overall, I think this was a solid episode from start to finish. 10 out of 10 from this guy. 10 out of 10 for me. Now, let's get into the episode itself. Now, I actually just finished watching the episode along with Ambitions. Thunderstorms in the area messed up the Wi-Fi, so I couldn't really watch the entirety of the episodes. Like, I missed half of the Benny beatdown, or the Jim beatdown, due to the Wi-Fi. Ambitions, look, after the cliffhanger ending for the halves, I needed to take a break. I could not endure 2 shows in a row. And for everyone who has watched Ambitions, this video will be up on the channel before my episode review. I did watch Ambitions too. Let me know what you thought of the show, but for this episode, 10 out of 10 for me. Now, there were just I don't even know where to start, guys, but I feel like, well, let's just talk about the beginning. I thought it was brilliant that they took a minute or two to kind of recap how the Crier Company came to be. Now, I'm glad I did a video on this last week. And guys, check out the archive. If you are new to the channel and you haven't checked out the videos I post, I usually get up almost a dozen to 20 videos per week because it's that much to cover. I did a What is the Crier Company video going back to March of 2018 when Candace and Veronica were working together. Veronica got Lloyd to set up the bank account saying that she was trying to hide money from David during their divorce settlement and whatnot. And all this is true. And from there, she sent the documentation to Candace to fill out so it could be notarized, with Candace Young as the only signer and owner of the account. So all this is fact. This isn't like when Veronica was sitting at the pool with David saying that she was the one that orchestrated for Erica to come into his life. That was Candace. I think she was talking out of her ass in that moment, trying to make David feel worse. Or that was a continuity error and Tyler Perry just forgot. I don't know, but I thought that was a great way to open the episode. Man. Okay, so from there we get over to what's up with Benny and Jim saying this their house is and it's not. Benny has no job and lives with his mother, and the house was a gift from Catherine. Jim saying it's his house. I'm not surprised because how many times has he said that Catherine's house is his house when he only has $3,400 in his bank account and doesn't own anything at this point? So, once again, annoying little moments that made me chuckle, but not enough to take me out of the episode. The fact that Catherine warns Hannah about Jim coming over to the house, it is crazy. And then for him to just show up, then that surprised me, the fact that he was already there. We get to this scene, my gosh. Okay, and yes, guys, I do plan on doing a video about Jim's ass whoopings. I don't even know. I might title it that, but I got to be careful with the monetization, so I got to think about it. But I need to do a video talking about all the times Jim got his ass beaten. I mean, you got Quincy, you got David, you got Hannah and Candace tag team, and of course you have this recent moment where Benny took him down. It's just too many to count, but I will definitely do a video, maybe ranking them too in my terms of my favorites. Now, and Wyatt, that one time when Wyatt, well, in that case, Wyatt literally had him off guard. Hit him upside the head with the wine bottle, almost smashed his head in with the statue. Had it not been for Catherine, but once again, that's it. That's its own video. In that moment, I mean, believe it or not, it isn't the fight that really got me excited. It was what happened in a few scenes later when they were tending to Benny's wound opening back up, and Hannah's trying to quote scripture and whatnot, and like Benny said, it's like, you really won't quoting scripture when you were cursing him out, and he's like, that's a good point. And we go back to the hypocritical Christian thing. I mean, that's a good point. Very good. But in terms of the fight itself, I even tweeted this out, and it was fun live tweeting. I haven't live tweeted in quite some time, but I think it was interesting. I don't know what had me laughing more. Jim's puzzled face when Hannah was moving around the furniture and whatnot, and I actually got it wrong in my episode leak video. In that clip we saw, I thought it was Hannah taking off her earrings and putting them on the table. No. This was her dragging the table and then sitting down. Benjamin, this MF is all yours. And Benny went in. So you got the confused look on his face when Jim is watching Hannah move the furniture around. But then you have that look of surprise and shock when Benny rushes him like he tried to get up, but boom, just knocked the entire sofa over and was wailing on him. Then he got up, flipped him over, started kicking and punching him. And when Hannah was like, I wish I had a cigarette, I was done. That was hilarious. Then from there, dragged him out of the house and pretty much just kept wailing on him. It really reminded me of when Jim beat up Professor Cannon in the parking lot after, he got confirmation that Professor Cannon was the one that assaulted Amanda. I can't use the R word because of demonetization, folks, but it was something else, just kicking him and everything. It's like, got my damn wound open up, son of a, and then walked up. Then Hannah pretty much lets him know, like, look, we're from two different worlds. We ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't got the money. And then that was pretty funny. And I mean, to be honest, the entire situation could have de-escalated had Jim not run his mouth off and let Hannah make the phone call. I mean, yeah, Hannah was like, get out of here. But I mean, if I were, in that situation, it's like, call her right now. Because even Hannah recognizes, like, yeah, he has a right to be mad. It's over $8 million, but I ain't got it. Agreed. Things have just escalated way too far at this point. Like, I really can't take sides because both parties make good points. Catherine saying, don't worry, I'll handle him. And it's like, well, yeah, you said that before. Well, in a way, Hannah, you got to think of it from Jim's perspective. I know he's a SOB and everything, but look at all the times you said you would give the money back. We're going to the bank, but you didn't do it. And it wasn't because you weren't the one not signing the documents. It was Benny. So like you said, Jim has every right to be mad and everything. So you really shouldn't point fingers at Catherine for not putting Jim in his place. All the times you said that you would give the money back, but you didn't. But the argument could be made that, yeah, Hannah wasn't able to get the money back when she said she would, but Jim was the one that took things further with, having Benny stabbed and threatening people and everything. So in a way, I can kind of lean more towards Hannah's side, but at the same time, you really need to watch who you're pointing fingers at in regards to them not doing what they said they would do multiple times over. Then you have when the information came out about Candace having the money and being the one to own the Crier Company account and everything. And then Catherine's like, that girl's like, don't you start. Hannah, once again, Catherine has a lot of right here to say whatever she please. Like, I understand being the mother, not to even before you and Candace mended fences, you were always defensive of her. But keep in mind, your daughter has done the Crier family a lot of harm. Infiltrated, getting close to their daughter, going up into their home, having an affair with Catherine's husband, extorting so much, extortion, blackmail, everything else in between, indirectly being a cause for her daughter, having a mental breakdown, and the list goes on, folks. The list goes on. So for her to say that girl, come on now, Hannah, you need to just calm down, slow your roll. Like in that moment, you're all like, we don't even know if she has the money. Yet when you're talking with Benny, you're instantly accusing her of having the money. So I'm not docking any points for that. It's just like, Hannah, you need to be a bit more consistent with your personality on this. But that's neither here nor there. It was still a great scene. Jim got up, and I have to wonder the neighbors who live in this neighborhood. Can you imagine? Because before Hannah and Benny moved in, think of everything that's gone down. You had Melissa jumping from the roof. You have Jim Cryer being dragged out and beaten in the street. Benny being stabbed and left on the stoop. Malik breaking in, then leaving the house with a knife in his back. Then Hannah screaming, crying to everybody on the street to open the door and help her out. And then a bunch of other things, if I'm not mistaken. It's just a lot of stuff that has gone down in that house since they moved in. And I can't imagine there will be too many other black people in the neighborhood. So they've brought a lot of the hood stuff all the way over to the haves part of town. I think that's a pretty interesting thing that a lot of people probably hadn't brought up before. Now, on top of that, and I know I might be skipping around a bit, but remember, I watched this episode in different scenes because of the weather. We got Justin being assaulted, passing out, then the female cop comes in and gets an ambulance, which is something that I wish didn't happen, because now we kind of got confirmation that he's going to be at the hospital, and we know this because of the preview for next week. Jeffrey gets a phone call, and allegedly he's the next of kin, and he says he's not. So basically he's unable to get information aside from the fact that Justin had a terrible accident. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. At first it annoyed me, but then I was surprised, but then I wasn't surprised, because remember, Justin has been disowned by his family. He signed over all the documents, you know, pretty much ending his marriage and his right to see his own child. So Jeffrey is technically all he has, so to speak, but that's completely up to Jeffrey. Nobody's making him go, but this is going to be exactly what I didn't want to see, him going to the hospital. And I don't want to jump into the preview too much because I don't want to spoil talking about this great episode. Madison saying, like, you love him, huh? Madison, at this point, I would just shut my mouth and not say or do anything. It would suck for Jeffrey to get himself killed like this, but it is his decision. You have done everything. You've gone beyond the call of duty and made irrational mistakes. So at this point, if he wants to get the room number, just give him the room number, let him do his thing. But here's the thing about it. If Justin has the nerve to say that this is your fault and you should feel bad because your mother did this to me, you know, if he puts two and two together, I don't even, let's not even go there, because I don't want to get mad talking about it, okay? So, yeah, so he leaves, gets his keys, and goes. Now we have, and if I miss anything, forgive me. But you know I'm going to do a bunch of other videos too. You got Broderick packing up, and I mean, where are you going to go? This is like the federal government looking for you. I mean, they will be calling you about student loans or car insurance, or you know how it is. I get like 15, 17 calls a day about some health insurance and car insurance and warranties, all these spam calls. You won't be able to hide, Broderick. You won't be able to hide. But whatever Broderick left behind in his whatever country he came from, he doesn't want to go back. I mean, he said to Catherine before when she came over to his apartment for the first time that what money he makes from the hotel, he sends it back to his family and whatnot. I don't know what he left behind, but he certainly does not want to go back. But then Rocky comes trying to calm him down and pretty much trying to make sense of the situation. Look, there's nowhere you can go. I want to get back at Candace too, but we need to work together. So, I mean, he even says, you know, like, man, come on, they're not going to deport us. And I'm like, well, Rocky, he seemed pretty serious to me. So then Catherine shows up, Rocky goes. Catherine pretty much assures Broderick that she can help, which she has connections. And when she says a whole new world, first of all, I instantly thought Aladdin, because what was it, a couple of weeks ago I saw that movie. And if you saw Aladdin, the live action film, let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. And on top of that, I think it's confirmation that the whole new world she's going to show him is a new place to live, because she's like, leave all this stuff behind. I think what she's going to do is give Broderick the old condo that Wyatt bought once he got his inheritance money, but then he lost it when all of his money was taken away. But remember, Jim owns that building, so I'm pretty sure Catherine's going to put Broderick in that condo where Wyatt was. That's my thoughts on that. Now, later in the episode, we got Veronica facing off with Agent Horace. Once again, fantastic scene. Say what you want about Veronica, but you cannot deny that she is calm, cool, and collected when the situation demands it. A beautiful legal mind she has, and that's something that we need to focus on. That Tyler Perry, despite all the crazy, psychotic black women and vengeful women in his movies and stuff like that, it is nice to see a strong, intelligent black woman like Veronica doing what she does in the legal world. I know I'm going to completely bash on her in other scenes for the episode, but in this particular scene, this is what I like to see. And like I said in my ambitions expectation video, I would love to see Angela be playing Veronica or another character if she guest starred on Ambition in the near future, due to the fact that Robin Givens' character Stephanie comes from a family of attorneys. I would love to see that so much. But I believe we got Warlock was name dropped in this scene. Correct me if I'm wrong. His last name, what was it? Warwick Lewis or something like that. I forgot it. I know his first, middle, and last name. He gave it to Jim when he was in the war room. But then we had Veronica name dropping him. Now, Horace seemed to be pretty Mr. Agent Horace seemed pretty confident when it came to Veronica, based off the testimony off the guy that, she hired to create the bomb to blow up the car. And I mean, it was a well executed scene. And like I said before the episode came out in other videos, I was afraid they would skip over this scene, but I'm so glad they didn't, because we had some great information exchange, a little more background on Erica. So we do know that she was identified. She's just not a burnt corpse anymore. And just the connection between Warlock and the guy who was setting the bomb. I forgot his name. I know they mentioned it like 20 episodes ago, but I think they did a good job of bringing things full circle. Veronica keeping her hands clean, even though they are so full of crumbs because her hands are in the cookie jar in this situation. But like she said, once again, she weaseled her way out of this, and I cannot wait to see this in the courtroom. This is going to be insane. She is literally tackling the FBI head on, and it's crazy. I don't even know what else to say about this. It was a great scene. The execution, the acting was on point. It was good. It was great. But even Scott, I guess at this point, is like, he's dead set on nailing Candace Young, that he isn't even worried about anyone else. Veronica, just let her go. Forget about it. So I'm just like, well, dang. I mean, it's almost like, you have, I guess the analogy is like, you have the goal of getting the winning Powerball ticket, and you're just willing to throw away a $500 lottery winner, $6,000 winning ticket. You're just willing to just throw all that to the curb because you're dead set on getting this winning Powerball ticket. I guess that's a weird example, but I don't know. I got the lottery on my mind. I haven't played in a while. So he is willing to just let everyone else go just to get Candace Young. So this is going to be intense. Now, moving on in the episode, I just want to make sure I don't miss anything, guys. There was just so much that went down. Let me double check here, because I actually have the Watch On app pulled up in front of me, and I'm just like hovering my mouse over to see the scenes. Yeah, I talked about the Jim, Broderick, Justin, RK leaving a voicemail to Candace because, it hit the fan. It's crazy. Even in the preview for next week, it's like, look, everything's falling apart. Oh, yeah, then after the FBI scene, you have Veronica calling David to pick her up, which, again, you have to remember, she doesn't have a ride because the FBI pretty much told her to come with them before she had a chance to grab her purse or keys or anything. David shows up, tosses out RK. I just love the fact that he was trying to take her car, and I'm like, dude, you saw how mad she was. She wanted to have you arrested for the jewelry. What the hell do you think she would do if you took her car? That's insane. Then we have David talking with Veronica. Long story short, oh, you need me to get the legal help? No, I want to talk about us. Which begs the question. Oh, hang on. Let me put a pin in that. Let's see. Wyatt's high called Jeffrey, said, I'm going to ice everyone in this house, including myself. We'll have to wait and see about that. Scott calling Jim for a meeting. Good setup. I can't wait for that to happen. I think for the first time, it's funny because Wyatt looked pretty much tore up from the flow up last week when he was high. Now this week, Jim comes in the house looking just a hot mess, and it's kind of funny. A have not like Benny beat the hell out of him in the street, and now you're getting a call to meet with someone from um, to meet with the attorney general, not of the state, but like the country, the government. And this is possibly a meeting that will give Jim some much needed money and power. So he gets a call from Candace. Pretty much, I want to give you the money back. And like I said, I'll do a video on that. Oliver comes to deliver the bad news. The story broke. Candace is all over in a bad way. And he fires Landon. Now, I'm not docking it for this, but I am very pissed off. If this was the last, well, technically, the end of Landon's character, if he got fired he got fired because of the fact that he couldn't clean up this story. What the hell was he supposed to do? What the hell was he supposed to do? So, Landon being in my top 3 characters, remember Landon, Mitch, and Dave are my top 3. If he got written off screen like this, then I'll be really pissed off because Charles did this to himself. So he goes upstairs, like I predicted, right before Candace could hit the send button on the transfer. He comes in and turns on the TV. All right, so going back a bit, let's see. Make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, so David's talking with Veronica in the living room. She still doesn't want to sit on the couch. She's going upstairs. You have a lot of making up to do. I'm like, really, Veronica? And it's kind of funny because she had the nerve to tell David to throw her young lover out of the house, yet he's not allowed to have whores. Really? So then we move on to the end of the episode where I don't know how long Veronica was upstairs making sure RK didn't steal anything from her, but she kind of went in her psychosis mode, if you will, where she seemed a bit, I don't want to say she was drunk, but she definitely didn't seem as, I guess you could say, alert or coherent. Maybe that's the wrong word, as she was when she was with the FBI agent and when she was talking with David when they got home. I wonder how that ride in the car went. And David seems to be moving around rather fine for his back to be still in a bad condition. Anyone notice that but me? So in any case, they're talking about the pool and they're trying to just talk about us. And long story short, we just get to the point where she drops the bomb about Jeffrey not being his real son. Once again, the episode gets points for bringing up something that I thought was swept under the rug, because Veronica said this to Jeffrey in front of Madison. Jeffrey never brought this up to David, and I was wondering why he didn't do it. But apparently, and this is the beautiful part, not only do we get confirmation that, number one, David is not Jeffrey's father. Number two, we get a name for Jeffrey's father, William. And number three, and this is something that I didn't even think about. I think somebody tweeted this and I responded, I'm like, I did not think about it. This explains why Veronica has a thing against gay people. Well, specifically gay men. So you got like a 4 or 5 pronged, just, you got so much character background from like 3 minutes of dialogue. This was fantastic. So I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to mention another video, because about 4 months ago, and I just posted the video on the community tab, check it out, what if Babyface was Jeffrey's father? And people thought I was nuts for it, because I said it was like a funny video, but it would make sense. Because from day one, everyone was saying Gavin was Babyface. That's him, Babyface, Kenny Babyface Edmonds. Veronica said, William, your co-worker, your, what did she say? David's co-worker, I forgot what she said. I'm just going to say co-worker. The spitting image of Jeffrey. My gosh. Well, I mean, what was it at first? You know, she wanted to have him committed, kind of like, you know, how Catherine wanted Amanda committed, obviously for her mental state, but in this case, Veronica wanted Jeffrey committed to pretty much, I guess you could say, cleanse him of his homosexuality. So, my gosh, there's just so much to take. Yes, there will be an entire video about this scene. Fantastic. Okay, so we know that William is the father. Now, like I said, we get confirmation that Derek is not the father. He's not the father of Jeffrey. David isn't the father either. So we got this William character, and I really want to put a Snoop Dogg who. I'll probably do that in the real video. But all I'm saying is Tyler Perry. If there's anyone from Tyler Perry Studios listening to this video, any of the actors from the show, if you introduce Jeffrey's father into the series and he is not portrayed by Babyface, then you messed up. Because Veronica herself said that William and Jeffrey are spitting images of each other. If you do not get I'm going to say it again, kind of like, in the Bobby Brown story when they didn't get Gavin to portray Babyface, even though he was only in the movie like for a few minutes with Bobby, and L.A. re-recording Rock With You. Get Kenny Babyface Edmonds to portray William in this dang series, or you messed up. Don't make me take this 10 out of 10 away. Now, I'm not going to do it because this episode, standing alone, is awesome. But it was fantastic. All right. So here we go. So basically, this occurred during a rough patch in their marriage. Apparently, when they weren't able to have kids. Because Veronica said this in the episode No More Hiding, about how all the time she tried to have a baby, but it didn't work. And she stepped out because, apparently David and Veronica were having troubles as well. And she was going to leave David for William, but then caught him with another man. So you still want to get back together? No, I just want to be close to you. And they go in the pool. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say in this video, because like I said, there is so much to dig up from this. This is amazing, folks. 10 out of 10 for me. Tyler Perry, 2 thumbs up. This was fantastic. I love this episode from start to finish. I think they said we got 2 more left in the season. Will they be as good? I don't know, but I just feel like we've had a great string of episodes so far, and this episode takes the cake. From the action, the drama, the setup, the mentioning of characters we haven't heard of in quite some time, like Warlock. Do they know that Warwick is dead, though? I'm wondering about that, because remember, that went down to the Malone restaurant. But if there's anything I missed, like I said, forgive me. The weather made it so I couldn't watch this episode at one time, but I think I covered everything. You know how I do. I will wait for the trailer to be uploaded to the own YouTube channel. Once that's done, I'll go ahead and do a video on that. But I am excited for what's to come next. It looks like a lot of stuff is going down. But the question is Veronica dead? No, she's not dead. She's not dead. Trust me, she is not dead. But let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comment section below. Thank you all so much. We hit 82,000 subscribers. I don't want to sound negative, but I don't think we're going to hit 85,000 by the end of June like I hope we would. For whatever reason, we slowed down a lot. We were getting like 5,000 subscribers a month, but we just hit 2,000 this month. So I don't know. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to hit 83,000, but you know what? Who cares about the numbers? We will get there when we get there. All I have to say was, when it comes to numbers, 10 out of 10 for the night's episode, because it was fantastic. Let me know your thoughts. Be on the lookout for my ambitions video soon. I will try to have that up before Thursday. But guys, this was a fantastic episode. I can't wait to read the comments on this one, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.